They hid this file for decades. A blueprint. You can see the yellowed edges detailing a controlled demolition of the old financial system. We've got it. Tonight, we unseal the OMFI file.
Look at that number. Don't let your eyes just glaze over. $43 trillion. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is not the global GDP. This is the total value of assets that are actually controlled by the group that wrote this blueprint. We're talking about central banks, sovereign wealth funds, the big pension funds. They don't just follow the market, they are the market. And it looks like they've decided it's time for a change.
Okay, let's dive into the file. Here it is, the first piece of evidence. I'm pinning this to the board right now. It's from the official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum, OMFIF. The title itself is basically a confession, driving public blockchain integration in banking. They're not saying exploring, not considering, the word is driving.
And the crucial point is right there, buried in the fine print. This isn't some academic white paper, It's not a theoretical exercise. They call it a working group. That means architects, engineers, and a whole lot of capital are actively building this new system as we speak. This is a live operation. And that's exactly why we need you to join this investigation.
This briefing, it's going to be long, because the evidence is just so deep. To make absolutely sure you don't lose access to these files if we get taken down, you need to subscribe to the agency. Right now. We need operatives on the inside. Lock it in.
I'm opening the first section of the file now. The page it's brittle. The header reads, Case File OMFIF. Let's start by identifying the organization that's pulling all the strings.
So who are they really? Well, OMFIF is basically a global think tank, a sort of private club for the world's most powerful public investors. We are talking about the very institutions that dictate monetary policy for entire nations. When a group this powerful, this conservative, publishes a report endorsing public blockchains, it's not just a signal, it's an earthquake. They are officially announcing the foundation for the new system.
Turning the page here, Section 2 of the file. So if OMFIF is the client, who are the contractors? The report names them. Let's take a look at the architects.
The document lists the official participants in this working group. Right here, typed out plain as day. Ripple, Stellar Development Foundation, Hedera. Now what's really interesting here is the exclusion. They didn't list thousands of cryptos, they named a select few. Believe me, these are not random choices. These are the chosen ones, handpicked to build the new rails for that $43 trillion.
Okay, so the players are identified, but how do you connect a legacy banking system, something a century old, to a new digital one? How do you actually get the old guard to adopt this new tech? Turning the page, the file calls it the mechanism.
And this quote right here, from Ripple's own policy director, Matthew Osborne, it just brilliantly illustrates their strategy. You see, central banks have stopped fighting stablecoins. Now they're embracing them. Why? Because they are the perfect Trojan horse. They look like dollars, they feel like dollars, but they run on the new rails. See, it's not about replacing the old system overnight. It's about co-opting it from within.
And here is the proof of deployment. This data, confirmed by Ripple's Reese Merrick, shows their new stablecoin, RLUSD. Look at this, 30% of it is already live and running on the XRP ledger. The note at the bottom, though, that's the key. The demand is coming from Treasury clients with $12 trillion in assets who need to move money 24/7. The migration, it has already begun.
But why this stablecoin? I mean, why not the ones that are already out there? This part of the file explains everything. You've got Exhibit A, USDC, which depegged during the last banking crisis. It proved to be fragile, unreliable. Then you have Exhibit B, RLUSD, which was built from the ground up as a compliance-first asset. For the institutional world, you have to understand, stability and compliance aren't just features, they are the only things that matter. They are rejecting the crisis-prone assets of the past for the institutional-grade assets of the future.
Look, I can't show you the full, unredacted internal memos on screen, or the agency will get flagged, simple as that. But we've posted the raw documents in what we call the public archive. That's the YouTube community tab. Go there after this briefing. Verify the evidence for yourself.
So, they have the architects, and they have the mechanism. This all leads to one central question that just pulses through this entire file. What is the endgame?
The OMFIF report lays it out crystal clear, a three-step playbook. Step 1, integrate the public blockchains behind the scenes. Step 2, use compliant stablecoins as the bridge. And Step 3, and this is the masterstroke, make the technology completely invisible. The report actually calls it the TCP/IP of money. And that's the key. You don't know you're using TCP/IP to watch this right now, do you? And banks won't know they're using XRP or HBAR. They'll just see instant settlement. That is how you get mass adoption, not by force, but by stealth.
When you lay it all out, the timeline becomes terrifyingly clear. 2009, the concept is born with Bitcoin. 2012, the institutional architects at Ripple are founded. 2024, this official blueprint is published. Every single one of these events leads to the final date circled in red in this file, 2026, the system reset.
The blueprint predicts the event, but it doesn't give you the exact hour. For that, you need to be on the wire. If you want the alert the second the switch flips, you need access to the real-time intel feed. That's our encrypted Telegram channel. The link is in the description. That is where the actionable intelligence moves. I'm closing the case file now. Let's summarize the findings. The 43 trillion OMFIF consortium has published the official blueprint. Ripple, Stellar, and Hedera are the named architects. Compliant stablecoins are the vehicle. And the endgame is total, invisible integration. The plan isn't coming. The plan is live.
And so, the evidence we've presented tonight leaves you with a choice. It's a simple one, really, but it determines everything that comes next. Are you going to keep watching the news, or are you going to start preparing for the reset?
We'll be in touch.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.